Record.
Hello, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Okay, welcome again to our class. And we welcome everyone. Bernice, Ethan, Janet, Matt, Max, Megan, Michaela, Raphael. You're all welcome, okay? And as usual, we are going to go ahead and get started. So we normally would like to start with a word of prayer. And I would like to ask Esther to lead us in the word so that we can pray. Everyone, would you please just bow down so we can pray and then we get started, please. Go ahead, Esther, please.
Okay. Let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for today. We thank you for the gift of life. We thank you that you've enabled us to attend this class. We do not take it for granted. Thank you that our parents have facilitated us to attend this class. We ask that even as whatever we are going to learn today, God, we ask that you give us the gift of knowledge and understanding so that we are able to understand everything that we will be taught today. Even at the end of the session, all praise and glory will be unto your name. And it's in Jesus Christ I pray, believing and trusting.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you, Esther. Okay. I see people are still joining. So we have Raphael, Michaela, we have Megan, we have Max, we have Janet, we have Faith and Malik, and we have Ethan, we have Chloe, we have Derek joining now, we have Bernice, okay. And I hope Duchess is going to join us also pretty soon here. Okay. So how many people had a chance to watch the video? By show of hands, the two videos we recorded previously? Ethan, you did? Very good. Okay. Feel free to ask any question about the video. Is there anything you had which you think you needed to understand better? Janet? Okay, I see you raised your hand. Okay. Anybody having any question regarding the videos? Okay. I know there are people who joined after we got started. So what I'll do, we will organize another session probably today, and then another one tomorrow for 1 hour each, so that we can walk you through the videos. For those people who are interested, not only the ones who joined late, you are welcome. So I'll post the best time on the WhatsApp forum after maybe today, I believe, I'm gonna say maybe around 1:30, and that's gonna be Kenyan time. I'm not really sure, maybe around 9 o'clock, just for 1 hour, so we can help those people who joined late to catch up with the material. Okay. So without any further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and get started so that we can catch up with a lot of learning we have to do. Okay. Okay. So last time we talked about both the hardware and the software. Okay. And now we know that the hardware and the software are being driven by what, the hardware is being driven by what we call the software. The software are basically instruction code. They are coded in a particular language so the computer can understand. The software, we divide them into two major categories. We have the application software, which you and I use all the time. And the application software example could be like Microsoft Word, It could be like a PowerPoint presentation. It could be Microsoft Excel. Okay. Application could just be like your game you play on your phone, or the game you play on your computer. Could be Xbox, could be any kind of console. Those are application software. Now, we also mentioned that this application software can only work if there's another component which we call the operating system. The operating system is a software which actually drives the hardware and gives the hardware the instruction. When we say the operating system, what comes to mind is, for example, the Windows operating system, the Mac operating system, the iOS for the phone and the tablets, that's an operating system. The Android, that's also an operating system, okay? So the software can work only if the operating system is there. So the application software works depending on the application software works depending on the operating system. The operating system drives the hardware. The hardware is what you actually can touch and you're able to use. That could be your phone, your computer, your keyboard, your mouse, your screen. Those are the hardware components. Okay. So today we are going to go ahead and get started on what we call the programming for the internet. Okay. The programming for the internet will start with what we call the HTML. Okay. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Okay. I'm going to share it again here. Let me see. Okay. The HTML is I sent some notes yesterday, okay, on the class, just to make sure that we are ahead of the game. So HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. Every internet website you see out there has a component which consists of HTML. Now, HTML was first invented by this person right there. His name is Tim Berners-Lee. He invented HTML back in the 80s. And then it was officially released in the early 90s. Okay. So he invented the web with HTML, and HTML is the publishing language for the internet. Now, he used to work at a physics laboratory in Switzerland, okay, as a scientist. So they were doing a lot of research, and the original idea was to make it available so that the scientists could share, okay, they could share their publications, their ideas, okay, and as a result, that made it possible for Mr. Barnes to make sure that, Mr. Berners-Lee to make sure that whatever is available in my computer will be available in everyone's computer who I would like to share with. So HTML was created late in 1991, but was not released officially or published until 1995. And they started with HTML1, but by the time they published it, it was version 2.0. Okay. HTML 4.01 was published in late 1999. And that was a major release. Now, HTML is very evolving language and has evolved with various versions of updates. Long before its revised standard, because there's a standard they have to follow. Before that revised standard and specification, okay, each version has been allowed or has allowed its users to create web pages in a much easier and prettier way. Okay. Now, HTML1, which came before HTML2, okay, was released in 1993. Okay, with the intention of sharing information that can be readable, accessible via a web browser. But not many developers or programmers were involved in creating the website. So the language was also not growing. Then comes HTML2 in 1995, which contains all the features of HTML1, but with a few additional features, which remained as the standard markup language for designing and creating websites until January 1997. It defines various core features. Okay. Then HTML 3.0, okay, where a gentleman by the name David Reget introduced a fresh paper. Okay. Most of this were based on research. Okay, so they were doing a lot of research. So different people came up with different ideas, and those ideas became what we see today. So HTML 3.0 gave more powerful clarification and characteristics for the web and the webmasters in designing the web pages. Okay. But these powerful features of the new HTML slowed down the browser in applying further improvements. So it was not optimized to run as fast as it could. And then HTML 4.01, which is widely used and was a successful version of HTML before the current version, which is now 5.0, which is currently released and is now also used worldwide. Now, HTML5 can be used for an extended version of HTML4. So you can use HTML4 and HTML5 all at the same time, all in one. Okay. So having said that, okay, so far, how are you feeling? Is it something we are understanding? It's okay, you can raise your hand if you have any problem understanding, just let me know. Now, when we say web programming, okay, we are saying you program for the web by designing very simple applications, and then you use them on a web server. Like a server is a big computer which will house these programs, but people access it. Now, when I say web server, I mean a hardware with a software, which all work together, okay, so that we, me, and every one of us can access. For example, you can access Instagram, that's a web page. You can access Facebook, that's a web page. All these are designed using HTML. Now, HTML has what we call elements. Okay, so an HTML element is a type of document component. Okay, it's like a document component, and it's one of the several types. Okay, HTML has. Okay, HTML document is composed of a tree of simple HTML nodes, such as HTML. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and show you here real quick. But before I do that, let me go ahead and introduce you to some of the things which will be able to help us put together what we call a basic website. The most common programming languages on the web, okay, or in the internet today includes hypertext markup language, includes JavaScript, includes cascading style sheets, and also include other languages. Among them, we have PHP. But our interest right now today will only focus on HTML. Okay? And then tomorrow, our interest will focus on cascading style sheets. Okay? Now, some of these languages are used in conjunction, okay, or they are used together with each other, while some can be used almost entirely from the other languages to create an interactive or to create a static website. So when we say interactive, a website where you go and play games on will be an interactive website. Okay. A static website will be a website which will just be there. Most of the time it contains the same thing, maybe a document you read. So it's just interacting. I mean, it's just there to allow you to read the documents. Could be for your homework. Could be in the case of Mr. Barnes, way back then they were using those static websites for their research work. Now, you may find other languages, okay, which are more interesting, but those will come when we get there. So at this time, or at this point in time, our focus is on HTML. Okay, so by show of hands, I'm going to ask you, is everybody accessible to a computer? Like you can use other than a phone or a tablet, computer you can type on? Okay. I'm assuming everyone is, because today is the work. Okay, thank you, Janet. The work is going to be very interactive, okay? So how many people are familiar with Notepad in your computer? Do you know how to start Notepad, to work with it? Anybody having difficulty? Anybody not sure what what I mean by Notepad? Okay. Now remember, Notepad. Okay, thank you, Raphael. Notepad will be something which will be able to help us start typing today. Okay. So I'm going to go back and access our notes here again. Okay. Okay. So let me know if you can all see this particular screen. screen. Can you see can you guys see the screen? Okay. It's Introduction to Web Development. This is where, like they say, this is now where the rubber meets the road, okay? Don't be scared. This is going to be very easy to do and understand. Now, as from today, when you leave the class, okay, you'll be able to understand what actually goes on with the web development. Okay, so here we are. We are going to do the introduction to web development. Okay. Our next slide is, or our today's agenda will be to understand how websites work first. To understand something, you have to be able to understand how that thing works. We are going to learn the languages we use to create websites. We are also going to create website content, a very basic one. And then tomorrow, we'll be able to style that website to make it pretty. Okay. And then our next slide is now, what is a website? A website is a collection of publicly accessible, interlinked web pages which share a single domain name. Now, when I say domain name, I mean something like google.com, I mean something like youtube.com, I mean something like facebook.com, something like instagram.com. It could be your church website, .org or .net or yahoo.com. Those are called domain names. Now, the pages within a website are usually a mix of text, very simple text, with images. Some of them could be having videos and just basic links to link you to another website, forward or backward. So you can go to the next website by a link, and then you can also come back to the previous website. Now, websites can be created and maintained by you, now the web designer, okay? Say you do very well in this class, next time you find out that your church wants a website for the Sunday school class or for the Sunday school program. Whatever you will be learning here will be able to put you to a stage whereby you can create a website. Websites can be created and maintained by you, the individual. It can be done by a group of people. It can be done by a business or organizations. The business could be like Wall Street or New York Times or CNN, okay? Or it could be an organization like your church. And this is being done to serve a variety of purposes. Some of the purposes would be a website for the news, a website for a program at the Sunday school church. It could be a website for just linking friends like Facebook, a website for the pictures and videos like Instagram, a website for videos like YouTube. Those are websites. Together, all publicly accessible websites constitute the World Wide Web. Now, when you hear the World Wide Web, means the www. Most of the time you use that www dot. Your church's name .org or www dot. You can even make your name, say Ethan.com, Matt.com, Raphael, Derek, Malik, Janet, Max, Megan, Nyaga. You can do that, okay? So Websites are mostly for informational purposes. You share the idea, you can share the paper, your research paper, you can share a lot of good things together, okay? Now, how do websites work? The code used to create a website is stored in a computer known as the server. It's serving, it's the word from serving. It's serving pages to other computers. It's serving those pages to other cell phones. It's serving those pages to other tablets. So it's the server. The moment you enter an address, we call it a URL. URL stands for Uniform Resource Locator, such as HTTPS : and then // You can put youtube.com, or you can put www.youtube.com or www.cnn.com in your browser. And then when you hit enter, the enter key on your keyboard, the browser will be directing you to a web page by making a request to the server for the server to serve you the information you requested. The server, which is the computer, will provide a response which contains the code. The code is a program now, okay? Now the application program in this case. Now the server provides a response which contains the code or the program that is required to render the page onto the website, which finally appears on your screen. The browser goes through this code and eventually displays a web page on your screen. Now, when I say the browser, I mean the internet web browser. Okay, some of the examples we have are Google Chrome. Okay, we have Firefox. Okay, in the Mac world, we have, who can help me with that? Anybody know of any other browser we use in the Macintosh world, the Mac world? You can raise your hand, it's okay, we can. Anybody has an idea? Go ahead, Matt, unmute.
Microsoft Edge.
Microsoft Edge, very good. Any other person? Okay, we have Opera. We have so many others out there which we use, and depends on individual taste. Okay, so an illustration of how the websites flow or work. Okay, you're going to be standing here. This is your browser right here, and this is your laptop. Okay, and this is the ISP server. ISP stands for Internet Service Provider. Okay, and then there are other servers which are also within that space, which help with the web page request and response. Okay, now the website host server homepage here is going to be where you're going to be accessing your images, your files, your videos, and they'll be coming through to your laptop, and then the laptop will display that on your browser. It's very straightforward when you look at it. There are so many other complications which come with it for it to work the way it works. And those ones are some of the things we'll be working on to help you understand. Okay. Languages used to create websites. We talked of HTML. HTML is the hypertext text, H is hyper, T is text, M is markup, and L is language. Now, this is the latest HTML language we currently have. We call it HTML5. It provides the content and basic structure of a website. Okay, and then we have the CSS, which is cascading for C, style for S, and then sheet for S, so CSS. This CSS controls the presentation, formatting, and layout of a website. So imagining that this is a building, right? When you build, the first time you build a building, you start with a structure. You start with the foundation, and then you put, if it's a concrete building, you put what we call the pillars at the corners to hold the building together. That's going to be the HTML, right? Once you finish that, you're going to go and start dressing your building up. So you can put the windows, you put the doors, you put the roof, and then you paint it. And that's going to be falling under the CSS. So you're going to be styling that building. So look at HTML as the structure, the structural aspect of the building, and look at the CSS as the dressing up of that building to make it beautiful. Okay. Now there's a language which we call JS for JavaScript. JavaScript will be a language in this. Most cases, we use it to help us control the behavior of different elements of a website. Okay. It makes you interact with that website. It makes you click and be able to load, for example, the videos. It makes you be able to type in a particular word in a text box, okay, and be able to tell if that, let's say, if they ask you for your name, first and last name, they expect you to type a certain element in that box. That element will be controlled. Whatever you type will be controlled and actually validated by JavaScript. Instead of typing your name, if you type your age, instead of typing your name, JavaScript will tell you that's not correct. So it will validate it. So this one, JavaScript, call it in short JS, will come much later once we understand what HTML is, and then we understand what CSS is and how they work together. Once we understand these first two, this one will come in and you'll be able to know exactly what is involved in shaping a website using all these three. Okay. Now, remember before we started with HTML. Now in this class, we shall focus today and tomorrow on HTML and CSS to help us come up with a website, okay? Now, some of the browsers or the tools we use will be, this is like a notepad, okay? You can use your simple notepad. Don't use like Microsoft Word or any other program. Just notepad, a simple notepad will work. And then once we type in what we need to type in, we will save it under a particular name. If you want to save it as Michaela, it's going to be michaela.html. If you want to save it as Bernice, you're going to save it bernice.html. You save it, for example, on your desktop. Okay? You can save it as Malik. So you're going to save it under your name, .html. And then when you go back and open it, it can open in one of the browsers. These are the browsers. Okay. These browsers, depending on what you have, will be able to open that website or that web page for you. And that web page will be your first web page you just created. Okay. So here, let's start with HTML, okay? Now, like we said, it stands for Hypertext Markup Language. It is at the core of every web page and an essential skill for any web professional. It's the starting point for anyone learning how to create websites. Luckily for us, it's so easy to learn, very easy. You'll be surprised how easy it is, okay? When I say markup language, that means that rather than using a programming language, okay, to perform functions, HTML uses tags, TAGS, to identify different types of content and the purpose they each serve to the web page. Okay, we identify HTML file with an extension. The extension can be .htm or .html. That's how we'll be able to save our file. You type it, janet.html or .htm. In our class, we'll use HTML, okay, as an extension. Now, when you look at this here, this is a very basic structure. This is how we get started. So first of all, if you open, let's say open your notepad, you can type something like this. This will always be at the head, the first line of your HTML document. It's a less than sign, and then we have exclamation mark, and then we type the word doc type. Then you give it a space, and then you type the word HTML, and then you close the tag with a greater than sign. So it's going to be something like that. Okay. Once you do that, now remember the doc type is not actually a tag. This is not a tag, but it's a declaration. It tells the HTML, it tells the browsers that the kind of HTML you are using is a particular version. So if you say, hey, my HTML starts with doc type HTML, that means it's HTML5. So this will be up at the top, okay? And then followed by the word HTML. So I'm gonna go ahead and get us started here. You can follow with me step by step. If you can see my screen. So we do the less than sign. Let me see if I can make it larger. Make it large again, zoom out, zoom in. Okay. All right, so, okay. We type that. Let me go back and use something much more clearer. So let me go back here. It's gonna be easier that way. But we're gonna use Notepad anyway. So this is okay. Let me know if you can see my screen. Go ahead and make it very large indeed, like that. So when we type that, okay, that's one tag, okay? A less than sign, okay? So when I tap that, you're gonna see a less than sign. Let me know if you cannot see my screen so I can make it much more bigger. That's a less than sign, okay? So we type the less than sign here. Oh, sorry. Let's see. Okay, we type a less than sign, which is this one, right? And then we type the word doc type. So we say doc type. Before you type the word doc type, put a exclamation mark. And then you type the word doc. You can make it all caps, capital letters, okay? Doc type. And then you type the word HTML. Now this is a good time to follow slowly with me. So you open your notepad and do this, type that. Let me know if you have any difficulty. Okay, did everybody type that? Okay, good to go. Hey, don't be afraid to ask questions, okay? We are all learning together, okay? Okay, once you type that, okay, you go to the next line, okay, by just pressing enter, and then type the word, type another tag, less than sign, okay? And then type the word HTML. And then you close with a greater than sign. You see how it goes slowly but surely. Okay, good, very good, Ethan. Okay, Raphael, we good? Very good. All right. How about you, Matt? You all right? Okay. All right, cool. Everybody good? All right. So we've just typed the first declaration. That's telling whatever we are going to work on, telling the browser that we are working on an HTML5 website. So we just type the first tag, that's an HTML tag. And now we are going to match it with another HTML tag, but this time around we put a less than sign and then we put a forward slash. So that's going to be what we call a closing tag. So we type the word HTML. So we opened with this and then we close with that. Okay. And then we go to the next slide. Now we type the word head. That's the head of that document we are going to type. So we open with a head, that's a tag, and then space, we close with a head tag. So remember, see the pattern here. Every time you open, you want to close it. When you close it, you basically close with the same word, but the only difference is the forward slash. So the HTML element here basically defines the whole HTML document. And then the head element here contains special elements that instruct the browser where to find style sheets and also to provide the meta information, like the information in that website. What are the keywords? So meta information are the keywords which are being used by search engine like Google to be able to index a page so that next time somebody types something as in searching it, they'll be able to tell, hey, whatever you're looking for is in this website, these are the links. Okay. Now, once we do that, we go to the next tag, and that next tag is actually the body. So look at this as you have the head, and now you have the body. Then we create a space, and then we type, we close with the closing tag. Okay. Now the body element contains the document content. That's the body of the document. Okay, and that's what is going to be shown inside the browser. Okay, now, so here we have almost something which we are going to work with. Now, in a web page, okay, this is what you'll be looking at. If you were to go and find out, this is what you'll be seeing. Now, we're going to have the head. So if we start here, we can move this one, take that one, copy, and then move it down. So we are nesting the website. So this is the declaration. This is the HTML to start. We're telling the website we are starting an HTML document. And then we type the header or the head of that document. And then inside the head, we have the body of the document. And then we close the tag with another, whatever we started with. Now it's going to be the closing tag for HTML. Okay. Now, once we do that, now remember the body here, right? Remember the head. So in the body, we can put something here. Let's say we press enter. Okay. We want to put a tag. One of the tags we can put is, let's say, less than, and then we put H1. H1 means head 1. Okay. Put H1, close the tag, space, open a new tag, close the same tag, just open, put H1, and then closing tag. And then in here, in between the H1 and the closing H1, type the word, this is my first web page. Okay. Go ahead and type that between the H1 and the closing H1. And then you can go to the next. There's another tag. We call it a P tag. P tag is for a paragraph. Open the tag, put a P, close the tag with another P. Okay. And then in here, type I love this class. Okay. Go ahead and do that. Okay. So at this point, what I want you to do is to click File on your notepad and then click Save or click Save As, and then save it under your name. If your name is Matt, save it as matt.html and then tell it to save it on your desktop. Okay. Go ahead, Ethan. Unmute and then, okay. Are you talking? Can you hear me? I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Okay. Can you speak a little louder?
I didn't know how to access the notepad, so I saw you doing it on the Google Doc, and that's what I did. Is that okay?
Okay. So if you do it in the Google document, it's okay, but you probably might not be able to get the way you want. What kind of computer are you using? Is it a Windows computer?
Yeah, it's an HP.
Okay. So you see down at the bottom left corner?
Yeah.
Okay, you see that Windows where you can type search?
Yeah.
You can type the word notepad there, then see if notepad.exe. So notepad.exe. And then it's gonna show you if notepad exists in your browser.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, so you see it coming, now you press enter, and then it's gonna open notepad for you.
Oh, okay, thanks.
And then whatever you just typed, copy those and paste in your notepad. The reason why I want us to use notepad is because if you use Google Doc or Word, it's gonna save it as a Word document, but you don't need that. We want to save it as a HTML document.
Okay.
So you save that on your desktop. Once you save, let me know. And then you'll see like it will have an image of your default browser. Your default browser will be the favorite browser you always use for opening your websites. Let me know if you can see that.
Wait, can you say that again?
Okay. Did you save it on your desktop?
Wait, yeah.
Okay. Now, when you save it on your desktop, did you save it as ethan.html? The
Yeah.
dot, okay. Now, what do you see on your desktop? Is it an image of a browser, like a Chrome, or is it?
What's on my screen right now is Ethan Notepad because I just saved it.
Okay, so did you save it as ethan.html?
Yeah.
Is it in one of these, like, do you see an image, Ethan, with an image of one of these for your browsers? Which browser do you use? Do you know?
Yeah, I use Google.
Okay, so most likely it's Ethan, and this is the image you see on your desktop. Ethan.
Yeah.
So you see that, right?
Yeah.
Now, if everybody, if you double click on the document you saved on your desktop, double click it to open it, and tell me what you see.
Okay.
What do you see?
I see the HTML. Wait. What? Wait. I just. Oh, I see it.
See?
Yeah, it says this is my first web page. I love this class.
Okay, very good. Everybody seeing it? Everybody good? Okay.
But it says this on Microsoft Edge instead of Google, but it's fine.
Say again?
It says it's on Microsoft Edge, but instead of Google, but it's fine.
That's fine.
Yeah.
You can use any browser, but if you see your web page, you should be able to be seeing what you just typed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Yes.
I can't see it. Like I'm trying to find Notepad and it's just a blank when I went to Notepad.
All right. So did you save it on your desktop?
No.
Okay. Where did you save it at?
I started at Google Docs and then
Okay.
Notepad when I heard.
Okay, Megan, we would like to use, what kind of computer do you have? Is it?
It's Windows, same thing, HP.
Okay, so on the left hand side of your computer, there should be a place you can type to search for the word notepad. You type the word notepad.
Yes.
And
And
then
there is,
you see it?
yes.
Okay, go ahead and open that.
Okay.
Okay, and then whatever you typed before, go ahead and copy and then paste it in Notepad. And then save it as Megan.html.
Megan,
On your desktop. Mhm.
I'll do that.
Mhm. Let me know. Is that working for you?
Yes.
Okay. Anybody else having any difficulty? That was fun, Nathan, right? Cool. Anybody else having? Okay, Raphael, go ahead, please.
I don't know how to access Notepad on a Chromebook.
Okay. On your PowerBook? Okay. Okay, what?
On a Chromebook.
Oh, on your Chromebook? Okay. What? Okay. Let me see, Chromebook. Okay, Chromebook. Now, what you don't have? Do you know if you have Notepad? We don't know.
I don't.
Of course, you don't know. Let me see. Chromebook. How do we access Notepad? Okay. Let me see. Okay, go ahead and what programs do you have on your Chromebook?
What do you mean by?
What program do you use for typing in your Chrome?
I use the keyboard that came with the Chromebook.
Okay. All right, let me see. Let's see, 1 second here, right? It looks like you might have it, and to get access to it. Okay. Okay. Okay, Raphael, what do you normally use to type your homework? You use Chrome, this a Google Doc?
Sometimes, like I was typing on Google.
Again?
Typing on Google Doc.
Okay. Type in Google Doc. Okay, whatever you typed it on your Google Docs, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do me a favor, go ahead and save it as. Can you save it?
I'll try.
Can you save it as? Or you just download it? Can you download it to your desktop? You know how to do that?
I can try to. Mm,
You click on file and then you go to download. Click on file and go to download. You see my screen? Can you see what I'm sharing?
yes.
You go click on file and then go to download, and then download as rich, this one. Go into this one, all right? Plain text, this one. You see that?
Yeah.
That's plain text TXT. And then once you download it, it's gonna be downloaded to your computer. Once you download it, then we are going to change the file name extension. Instead of .txt, we are going to change it to .html.
I double clicked on it and then it just sent me to what I wrote.
Okay. All right. So do you know how to share screen?
Yes.
Oh, can you share your screen?
Okay. So I double clicked on it and then it just appeared as this.
Okay, let me see. Yeah, that's good. So it's appearing as that, and it's in your downloads. Can you go into your download folder? Okay, in your download folder, see the first document, untitled document. Right click on that. No. Go back into your downloads. Go back into your downloads. Right click on this file. Right click on it and then rename it. Rename it. Give it the name Raphael. Okay.
Do I get rid of TXT? Do I get rid of TXT?
Yeah, you're gonna type the first name Raphael and then type .html. Okay, that's good. Okay, click outside it so you can rename it. Click outside that box. Okay, now you see the Raphael is there. Now double click it now. Okay, see that's your web page, okay? See it?
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, you like it?
Yeah.
Beautiful. And so you understand exactly how we go about it, how we go about this, right?
Yeah.
Okay, anybody else having difficulty?
Do I stop share?
You can stop sharing, yes, thank you. Okay, anybody else having difficulty? We good, everybody? Okay, so for today, we are going to go ahead and stop here because that's a lot we did, right? And then we'll proceed tomorrow. Tomorrow is it's gonna be much more fun, and you'll be able to style the same website and we add a few more things, including your image. So come with your favorite picture. Okay, if you get time, we might even link a YouTube video to your website, and it's going to be much more fun. You'll be very excited. I can tell you that. Okay. Anybody with any question? No. Okay. Go ahead, Raphael.
Are we allowed to use like a profile picture?
You can use any picture. You can bring any picture which you think is your favorite. Okay. Any other question? Anybody else? All right, guys, you did a very good job. I'm very proud of you, man. I can't wait for tomorrow. Bring some more ideas so we can see what you can do. Okay. So this is a good start. Don't stop here. At your own time, you can do your own thing to improve on this. So when you come tomorrow, we're going to build on this and eventually it's going to be a complete, beautiful, nice, good looking web page. Okay. So with that said, I thank you all for coming. Okay. We really appreciate you and we look forward to see you again tomorrow. Okay. And thank you very much. You have a good day. So I'll go ahead and ask, I'll put on the web, on the WhatsApp, okay, at about 1:30 today, depending on where you are. You can come back for 1 hour to catch up on those people who joined late, okay? We'll do it today and then we'll also do another one tomorrow. So I'll announce it on the WhatsApp page. And thank you everyone, and you have a good day, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording now, okay?
Bye.
Bye.
All right, bye. Have a great day.
Okay.
Great
Great
Thank you.
stuff. Great stuff. Awesome.
Thank you.
Mhm.
All right, thank you guys.